Hello and welcome to the TWIH Playoff Preview. We've got contenders on each side. We've got some really awesome series lined up. And there are going to be beards. I shaved right before the playoffs so you can see my beard growth in action. You can see what I can give to the world. There are some guys who can give a lot and some guys who can give tiny little wispy, strandy little weak-ass beards. I'm looking at you, Patrick Laine, but we'll see it all because your team's going to go deep. Anyway, let's talk some hockey, boys. Welcome to Smashville, so named because they hit people and definitely not because everyone gets super drunk during games. The President's Trophy winning Preds are coming into these playoffs stronger than last year and are looking to whet their appetite on some first-round suckers. Those suckers happen to be the Colorado Avalanche. No one expected this team to be any good this year, and thanks to the Herculean efforts of Nathan MacKinnon, they just barely made it in the playoffs. But because the hockey gods are cruel, the Avs lost their number one goaltender and a main defender to injury. Nathan MacKinnon is good, but Nashville is a juggernaut, bitch. This is just the tailgate party outside the stadium for Nashville. They're going to shotgun the Avs like they're a bunch of lukewarm Coors Lights. Preds in 4. For the first time in many years, Winnipeg is realizing its full potential. Also for the first time in many years, they don't have Andre fucking Pavlik as their goalie. Coincidence? The slow and patient style of GM Kekalainen has paid off with a deep and talented roster that looks to go far. Well, at least to the second round where the Preds will be waiting. Or not at all if the Wild can do something, wait for it, wild, and upset the Jets. And shit, they may even do it because this is a sneaky good team with a great coach. But also because it's Bruce Boudreau, you can wind your clock to the inevitable playoff flameout. He did it with the Caps and with the Ducks, and now it will be with the Wild. At least you'll get a fun drinking game out of it. Take a shot whenever Boudreau gets red-faced. Jets in 5. Viva Las Vegas, are you fucking kidding me? What gall this team has. A first-year expansion team, winning their division and getting into the playoffs. This team is literally the Mighty Ducks. But if you look a little closer, you'll see their play is coming down to earth and their luck is starting to run out. Can they pull it together against the LA Kings? After trading cups with Chicago 5 years ago, the Kings settled into an up-and-down routine, inspiring fans with great play and then crushing their hopes with losing streaks. Not having Jeff Carter for most of the season didn't help, but he's back and tearing it up. And oh yeah, did you know Kopitar is having a career year? He's the best center you never hear about, the John Tavares of the West. Despite the Kings' inconsistencies, I think they have what it takes to expose Vegas for the lucky expansion team they really are. Kings in 6. The Battle of California Part 3, the one that doesn't involve the Kings. Anaheim could have pulled a Calgary and shat themselves out of the playoffs, but they persevered after their slew of first-half injuries and battled back into second place in the Pacific, which isn't really that hard to do because the division is shit. But they're here and ready to play because they sure aren't going to get too many chances after this. Their core is on the wrong side of 30, and Kessler still has 3 more years on his deal. Gibson will have to carry these grandpas through. Speaking of through, the Sharks didn't get that memo about themselves. Their 2016 trip to the finals seemed like a swan song for their own aging core, but the truth is these guys are still pretty good at hockey. Despite losing Jumbo Joe for an extended period of time, they hung tough, again, in a shitty division, and managed to slag a playoff spot. And Jumbo ought to be back for the playoffs, so perhaps the Sharks can give him one last playoff disappointment before he retires. Of course, the disappointment hurts more if it's past the first round, so I'm going to say Sharks in 6. That'll do it for the first round previews. Stay tuned for the next rounds of preview that I will produce because my predictions will probably be 100% accurate. Let's go, boys.